Marshall has been following CSR the way it is understood today for the past 4 decades since the company was formed. So actually, simply put, we are the Department of Social Initiatives and it's not CSR. That is the first thing. Then we have a history. So the first time the activities that were started were in response to the needs of the communities around us. And just like the way CSR is evolving, the whole concept has evolved over the years. We started as a welfare department because welfare was the focus of the initiatives we had at that time. Eventually, the focus shifted as a development initiative, and so we started with a hospital, a 35-bedded hospital, and that gives affordable medical care to the communities around us. So the CSR is implemented by 3 arms. One is the Share Class Medicare that we have. The second is the Forbes Marshall Department of Social Initiatives. And the third is the Forbes Marshall Foundation. Our focus areas are health, education, women's empowerment, and of late we have started skill training. We believe in working with the neighborhood communities, so we are working in the areas of Pimlish Municipal Corporation and Chakan, where our new factory is now going to be set up. Selecting NGOs is actually not a very thorough process, but very involved process. We would identify NGOs who are like-minded to our philosophy of working. They need to have an expertise in that area of work. And we invite the NGOs. I mean, that's the way we put it. And once we have thought of some NGO which is doing good work, we'll go and do some project visits. There is some due diligence, I think, that most of us follow. So it is a both two-way process. It's also about the legalities, the compliances that they would have. More importantly, the kind of work they do and the focus with which they do that work. We would not select organizations who are jumping from one sector to the other to the third, simply because now there's more money available in that. So we would look for NGOs who are doing good work in their chosen sector. For us, there is no time frame for the NGOs to entry and exit kind of a thing. For us, it is building long-term sustainable partnerships, and I have been in Forbes Marshall for the past 14 years now, and our partnerships have sustained through all these years. The project may be added, changed, modified, but our partnership in that sense has not been because of a time frame consideration. It is more because the needs have changed on the field, and then it's a mutual decision. It is not enforced by us upon the NGOs. It's mutually agreed upon because they also see the very need to exit out of a program because the kind of circumstances have changed. For example, if you may recall earlier, a lot of children were out of school, so non-formal education programs were the need of the day. But now with the RTE and more enrollment happening, non-formal education has actually ceased as a program. The project has changed, but the NGO has remained. So for us, it is building a long-term sustainable partnerships, and there is no kind of an exit policy unless it's mutually agreed upon. First thing that impressed me was when I saw the agenda for 3 days. There are so many organizations whose work also I have not heard at all. So first of all, there is a lot of interest and curiosity about what organizations are doing across India. Then impact assessment, as it's everybody's concern now. It's an evolving field. There's nothing that is to be done. Since a lot of contributions are still taking place from a lot of stakeholders. The whole theme of the conference, I think, is good. So actually, that made me. So these are 2 factors because of which I thought I should be attending this conference.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. I was invited to this conference by my friends in CII. And the moment I saw that it is about impact assessment, I found that I should be going there, and that's the reason I came for understanding how other organizations are doing impact assessment. Now, how is that something we as an organization can implement? If we can learn something from that. So that was the main objective. I came for this session. How do we narrow down the support for a particular NGO? Basically, as an organization, we have 3 or few policies on the areas where we want to contribute as an organization. So We have a very strict policy of going through the complete background of the NGO, particularly whether the project is of interest for us. Secondly, whether the NGO has the capability, do they have a past history of doing this, and how long they have been doing this, and how the feedback from other organizations has been for working with those NGOs, and other things like whether they have registrations and all the basic hygiene stuff. So those are the few criteria what we have. We generally go for both short and long-term support depending on the quality of the project, the nature of the project. There is no certain guideline that we will be with an NGO for only a certain period of time. We do support many NGOs. We have worked with many NGOs across India. We have a very robust volunteer engagement program also, which we call it as our Cognizant Outreach Program. It has been running in all cities wherever Cognizant has offices, and we have done some phenomenal job where we are working primarily with the government schools. Our associates go and work with the children of those government schools and try to improve the quality of the education which they are getting in the schools. We have an external audits also. We are doing regular audits of the program. This is also a third-party audit which we are actually doing, and we will be continuing to do so. This year also we will be having the same auditor doing our audit that way. So primarily, these are the few basic things that we have under our CSR umbrella.
Tata Motors has been working and engaging with the communities for over 3 decades now, and we work on the principle of felt needs of the community. So we try and understand their needs, prioritize them, plan and execute our programs, mostly in 4 thrust areas of health, education, environment, employability, stroke, livelihood options. We were doers ourselves, and but over the past few years, we've understood that in order to reach out to more and more people, we need to have partnerships. And NGOs having domain expertise, more visibility, better interactions with the communities. We have forged partnerships with many NGOs, as far as 15 to 20 NGOs we are working with on various different projects all across the 4 trust areas, right from malnourishment to safe implantation to building skills of the school dropout to spreading awareness to the communities. So these are some of the things which we've been working. Not all of them are NGOs, some of them are used to be consulting firms who had the domain expertise to skill people. But we also engage with them saying that now we look forward to work in a capacity of a foundation with you. So luckily we've been able to forge partnership with the foundations which some of these consulting firms have floated. Of course, we have our internal checks and balances. We undergo the process of doing due diligence to these foundations and NGOs. And once satisfied, we see whether our priorities meet with the programs and agenda they have, and we then go about collaborating on projects which are there on our agenda, which are more or less furthering the agenda of the Millennium Development Goals, the Bharat Nirman initiatives, and some of the projects which are of high public importance need not necessarily be the importance or important projects of the government per se, but something which really the community seeks for. What we've done is we prioritize our initiatives. We've said that we will be allocating 70% of our resources on education and employability, because we find these two as greatest common levelers. One having a long gestation period such as education, the other one being meeting the immediate requirement of skilling people so that they can find livelihood options and support their family. 70% of our resources within 50 to 60 kilometer radius of our community, something which we've been focusing on. As far as the due diligence is concerned, well, we've said more amongst this 70% of the resources, we are seeking our NGO partners to cover at least 40% of their communities who belong from the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe communities, which furthers our agenda of affirmative action, wherein we have taken a call that we will provide opportunities to the communities who have faced historical injustice. Right since the beginning, volunteerism has been in the DNA of our employees. As many as 15 to 20% of our employees are engaged at various levels. They engage themselves with the various CSR programs which we have been, designing for over the past many years. Apart from this, at group level, we have something called data volunteering program, which is led by the chairman's office himself. And the idea is to give an opportunity to our managers, to our operators to engage with the community, give their personal time, and also contribute the various managerial expertise which they have with NGOs who require such kind of support, or get themselves sensitized with the various social realities and see through their capabilities if they can make a dent in it. So this year, in fact, the chairman has said that we will be investing 10 lakh volunteering hours for this particular area itself. And I'm happy to share with you that we have been able to really mobilize a lot of volunteers who have given their personal time. So the level of engagement is from one-time engagement to volunteers who have associated themselves with various NGOs, giving their every Sunday or every Saturday for 6 continuous months. So that's I would say level 2, or deepening their engagement levels. And very shortly we'll be launching another program wherein our employees can take sabbatical for 1 year and work as a support staff or lead to help these voluntary organizations on various requirements which they have made. It could be on strategy, could be on human resources, could be on financials, marketing, sales, everything. So the idea is to essentially give the managerial and the skill set which are part of the corporate sector to the voluntary organization, so that tomorrow we have a win-win situation and we are effectively able to respond to the various needs and aspirations of the community we are engaging with. So the first time we hear through this conclave or through this seminar that we wanted to learn from each other what are the expectations, what are those areas where we can mutually collaborate. So till now we have not collaborated, but I would be certain that some of the voluntary organizations who are associated with Vibha, because Vibha happens to be a confederation of NGOs in a way. So we do have a partnership with some of these NGOs as individuals, but not as a collective Vibha.